Welcome to Leaders Whiteboard. Our today's session, session number 19, is Mastering the Job Search Strategies and Tools for Success. Um, in the past sessions, we have talked about leadership principles, job ladder, some of the models, how you do performance review, and so on. And I thought let's gear the switch a little bit and see how, as an engineering leader or even as an engineer, when you are deciding to move, um, make the next steps of your career, that time, how do you do that? So, today's episode, we'll be talking about it. I'll tell you a few strategies that I think may work for you and some of the tools that I'll introduce to you. Then I'd like to know if you agree with those or you have other ideas that we can incorporate as well. Okay, so let's get started. Um, the first thing, when you are looking for a job, you have to be proactive and not reactive. Hmm. Why? For example, let's say when you have a job, you may go slow, you can choose which job to apply for, you can delay, you can slow down. But when you don't have a job, you need to move fast and you will be compromising basically because you have to pay the rent, you have to pay the bills, and so on. So you cannot wait too much. So you will be taking whatever comes first, not the best job. That's why if you decide to move, don't start searching job after you leave the job. Start searching job when you are already doing a job right now. That's what I mean when I say be proactive and not reactive. Hmm? And also when you actively search, you can move with intention. Specifically, this is the type of job I want, and so on. Depending on your profile, you can plan around it. Yeah. And then preparation is the key when you're searching for jobs and you're planning your career. Preparation is very important. So we'll talk a few points today about how you prepare yourself. But having your application materials, how you are going to apply for jobs, or how you'll keep yourself up in the market so that people or employers or recruiters can apply to you, so that you apply for a job or they can reach out to you. Those are like application materials. These can, if these are ready, it can streamline the whole job search process. You have to basically prepare your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter. You may want to have a personal website or a blog, and so on. So the first thing is building your personal brand. Whether you're looking for a job or you are already in a job and you're happy with it, you're not looking outside. Either way, your personal and professional brand is very important. Hmm? Internally within the company for your impression, but more when you will be at some point in time, you'll not be working in your current company all throughout your life. At some point in time, you're going to move. So at that time, you will be able to brand yourself for the right job that you are looking for, or people, the recruiters or employers will be coming to you, be getting attracted to your brand. So that's why you have to build a brand, a personal and professional brand. So for that, in today's world, particularly if you are in the software engineering area, you are working in that, or if you are in San Francisco Bay Area, or even I dare say anywhere actually in the world, LinkedIn is the number one tool or profile that people look for. The recruiters or employer look for. Even if you submit resume, we hiring managers actually go and check if you have a LinkedIn profile, and if you have it, what do they have there? What does your profile say compared to what's in your resume, and so on. So optimize your LinkedIn profile, and we'll talk a little bit about how can you optimize a little later today. But when creating your LinkedIn profile, highlight your skills and experience. These are important. And then engage with the LinkedIn platform. You share articles, comment posts, or connect with relevant people in your industry. And you have to network actively, offline or online, with LinkedIn or Indeed, or simply going to the seminars or join webinars. or maybe become a speaker, whatever way you have to network actively. Again, these are all to create your personal and professional brand. Hmm? And in your LinkedIn profile, showcase your expertise. Or when you're writing a blog post or article, write on your related field that showcases your expertise in your subject matter area. If you're an engineering leader, write about leadership, people management, process management, technology, product, thoughts, ideas, culture, whatever you care more about as a leader, so that people know you are a subject matter expert in that area. Hmm? So showcase your expertise that will help you build your personal brand. Now, as I was saying, LinkedIn is the most important one. Let's see what are some of the things that you can do uh, when in terms of with LinkedIn. So the first thing I have found that LinkedIn Premium is a very good service. So you can use LinkedIn free version, but the LinkedIn Premium is worth the money, particularly if you are thinking to switching job in the near future. So then you should use the LinkedIn Premium. Use a headshot, a professional headshot as your profile picture at LinkedIn. Update the cover photo. LinkedIn has a background, there is a cover photo, there is your headshot, right? So that background or cover photo that should be business-like, not just you are in a vacation, that kind of thing. Update the headline of LinkedIn, and I'll show you an example from my own profile, just so that you are familiar what we mean by that. But the headline has to be um, as large as possible, not just I am an engineering leader, something like that. You can use up to 220 characters. Take advantage of the real estate, the space. And in LinkedIn, there is an option to declare yourself as open to work. And you can mention it in a way so that only recruiters can see it, and not your current company's recruiters, but others can see it. No one within the current company's employee profile will be able to see it, but everyone else can, the other company's recruiters can see it. So, and then update your about me section in LinkedIn and update your featured section with some few good posts and articles in LinkedIn. And then be active on LinkedIn via posts, comments, and like, and so on. So here is the example. So when I was talking about this, look at the cover photo or the background. This is the current company that I work for, Twin Health, and it's a very professional, our marketing team prepared it, and I use that as a background for my LinkedIn profile. And here is the headshot. There is a professional headshot that I created. You can you should use something similar to that in your LinkedIn profile. And see the headline. See, I have a lot of keywords there, and I am separating those with the major words with the bars, right? So that tells a little bit about my expertise to the potential employers or recruiters. And then when I say is that what open to work, when you want to say, you say exactly what kind type of work, what type of job preference you want to do. Look at the right side. Visibility, recruiters only. This is the one that we are talking about, limited to people using LinkedIn Recruiter. Only those. While we take steps not to show recruiters at your current company, we can't guarantee complete privacy. So you have to be one. And then you can also use, if you are right now out of job market, then there is nothing to hide anymore, right? So then you can choose all LinkedIn members, and it will show up open to works in your profile. So everyone will know, your network will know, it will get broadcasted. So you may get some additional heat because of this. So my recommendation is that if you are currently doing a job, use recruiters only. Currently doing a job and looking for a next job, like a switch or move when you get good time, then use recruiters only. And if you are currently not in a job, then use all LinkedIn members. So this is a sample, but definitely different people may try out different ideas. Try something that you think will work, and if you're not getting enough response, change, try out different things, and so on. Okay. After the LinkedIn, the next big thing is your resume. So, of course, some people may say resume first, LinkedIn later. I think the other way around. for different reasons, particularly for leadership roles or management roles. um, it's not your resume, it's the LinkedIn profile where you'll have to attract others to come to you, the recruiters and employers, rather than you applying to others. Because often in the higher you go in your career, the less response you'll get by applying for a position rather than networking with people or people reaching out to rather than you trying to submit apply for a position. So that's why LinkedIn is more important rather than applying with your resume. But once someone contacts you, a recruiter or an employer, definitely you have to give a resume. Or at for some positions that you like, that's a good match, you may actually apply. You'll possibly apply for several positions. So that time resume is important. So that's why you have to have you have to craft a winning resume. First of all, make your resume ATS friendly. What is ATS? Application tracking system. So nowadays, for each positions that open up, there are thousands of applicants that apply. There are so many that humanly for recruiters or hiring managers it's not possible to screen all those resumes. So these ATS, these are softwares or tools that has a database backed in it. Whatever resume you submit, they store it in their database and they search those by keyword, and you can configure those tools so that it automatically rejects certain things, certain types of resumes or resumes missing certain keywords or having certain keywords and so on. You can configure in many ways. These are ATS or application tracking system. If you are surprised you have been applying to many positions and you are not getting any recruiter calls, one of the reason may be for 95% or 98% of those resumes already got rejected by ATS without ever a human being looking at your resume, whether it's recruiter or hiring manager. Maybe only 2 to 3% are actually recruiter is opening. Why? Because of those configurations in that ATS. It's looking for certain keywords that is missing in your resume if you are applying. Don't make the resume too long, 1 to 2 page. So if you have a very long work history, there are techniques how you can get it within, still keep it in 2 pages, but try to not exceed 2 page. And within the resume, don't use first, second, or third person language like I led a team of 20 people and so on. Not I, not first person. Use telegraphic language. Led a 20% team to drive $10 million revenue within the second and third quarter, something like that. These are called telegraphic language. So make professional summary section of your resume and the key skills most visible. Although your work experience and everything will be there, often uh, if your resume is not knocked out by the ATS application tracking system and really a recruiter is looking into it, you have a 5 to 6 seconds. By the time the recruiter is thinking if they will read your experience section or further your resume or not, or the second page of your resume or not, which means the first top right and middle of the page is maximum probably they will be looking at within the first few seconds. If you cannot attract their attention by that time, your resume is being rejected. They will not have time to look into. They are going to move to the next resume. So that's why the top sections will be professional summary and the key skills. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for certain keywords. So like, do you have that or not? So highlight those. And then when you are writing the narrative in your resume, focus on results or accomplishments instead of what task you have done, what projects you have finished. See, here is the business result that you have driven. Here is the accomplishment that happened for the company, that revenue you generated, and so on. Mention outcome, not output, and try to use a lot of numbers. For work experience prior to 15 years, if you have a very long career, 20, 25, 30 years, just write down up to about 15 years or so, and then the rest of the experience, the experience before 15 years, shorten them together in a single section with just the name of the company or name and title of the company. That's good enough. Which is earlier career history, you put it there. So I'll show you an example. For yeah, another thing is that the you have to format your resume using professional fonts like Arial or Times New Roman. Don't be too fancy. Let the resumers just look, sorry, the recruiters look into your resume in a very normal, uh, regular way, not that it's looking quite significantly different all on a sudden. Because your font is not going to take you there. Your key skills or professional summary will. And ageism is real, whether we agree or not. So don't show your experience as more than 18 years. So there are several ATS, application tracking system, I have heard for many positions configured in a way that if the candidate has 20 years or more experience, automatically reject. So I have heard of it. You may have heard of it. If you have heard of it, let me know, please. So that's why one recruiter actually recommended me long time back is that show only up to 18 years because I have about 24 years of work experience. But so when I put in my resume, I don't show more than 18 years. I say 18 years and more plus 18 plus. I say 18 plus can be any 20, 24, 25, 30, who knows. But 18, I try to keep that number within 18. Um, and then, how's your resume standing compared to other candidates or the job description that it is posted? How do you know it? So there are some tools that you can use. ATS scanners like skillsyncer.com, JobScan, Resume Worded, Career.io. You can submit your resume there, and then they will give you a free evaluation of your resume and show where which keywords are missing, or you can give a job description and your resume and say is it a good fit, how much fit it is. They'll give you a relative score, 50% match, 60% match, 40% match, 80% match, and so on, and even give you recommendation, increase this type of word, change these narratives, don't use this type of word, and so on. So use, for example, I have used skill syncer in the past, and it looks quite good. It yeah easily scores the resume against your job description and identifies missing skills. So here is a sample resume that I have. I was talking about like the professional summary and the key skills, highlight those. And my resume is done within 2 pages. And look, all my earlier experiences before 15, 16, 17 years, I have put as earlier career history, company name and title. So if you have too many company names also, then don't even give the title, just the list of company names are good enough. So that's how you can consolidate your whole resume within 2 pages, because no one will have time to look more than 2 pages. So the earlier resume, this one was a 2-column resume. See, each pages have a left column and a right column. You can also opt for a single color resume format like this. This whole one is just 1 column. Each page you will see 1 column. There is no 2 column, whatever you prefer. And then now is the time of generative AI, right? So you can use generative AI for your LinkedIn profiles, about me section, experience, your resume, professional summary writing, and so on. The whole resume writing you can do for it. So I have a few sample ChatGPT prompts that I use. You can try to use it. For example, let's say tell ChatGPT to memorize your resume, upload it, and say memorize. I'm going to ask you more questions, and then give a job description and say memorize this job. I'm going to ask you more questions later, and then you can extract relevant keywords for a job using a free word cloud generator. Like there is one free word cloud generator.com if you want to use to extract the keyword and then use those um, keywords when you're writing your resume. So you can use those, or you can even ask ChatGPT what are the keywords of this job description. And then you can tell, assume you are a resume writer, rewrite my resume in telegraphic language with the job description I shared a little earlier, with the resume I shared with a little bit earlier. And then ChatGPT will give you something. And then once you said it, tell ChatGPT, improve it, improve it, improve it. And then say, write a cover letter for it. Update my professional section in that the resume that you have prepared for me. With the certain keywords that you find in skill syncer, that those tools where it says use these keywords and so on. Or the word cloud generator you used, you extracted the keywords, you say update my resume with these keywords more, so that your resume matches score percentage goes higher from 60 to 70%, 70 to 80%, 80 to 85%, and so on. And a few other ChatGPT prompts that I have been using. Hmm. So anyway, the remember the job search strategy. Job search is a marathon, not a sprint. So be patient and persistent. It doesn't matter how much you try to hurry. You're not going to, because of your hurrying, you're not going to get the job faster. Instead, you have to be strategic. One after another, you will have to, or in parallel, several you'll have to attempt, and then eventually you'll land a job. Hmm? A good part of jobs are recruited through hidden job market. That's the important thing. For example, recruiting agency, executive job recruiters, and so on. So if you are an engineer, you have still a relatively higher chance to apply for positions. Maybe if you apply for 30 positions, you'll get one or two recruiter calls. But for engineering leaders or managers, that ratio is even worse than that often. So for managers or leaders, I would say don't even rely much on applying a position to get a job, because many other hundreds and thousands of people are applying for that job with similar skill set like yours. Why should recruiter have time to talk to you? Instead, open up your LinkedIn profile in such a way so that recruiters who are searching for potential candidates through LinkedIn recruiter seat and so on, they reach out to you, they find you rather than you reaching out to them. Hmm? And many of those recruiters are full-time employees of a company, but many of those leadership or management roles are actually outsourced to a third party, executive job search companies or leadership job search companies or just regular job search companies, third parties, because they specialize on searching people, and companies often don't want to keep full-time um, HR recruiters, like recruiters who are under HR functions. Um, to save time, they just put it to the third party. Unless they are hiring a lot of people, that's when companies usually have full-time employees. So, or some certain very high-level leadership roles, they will not go through their regular recruiters. They will always hire an executive search company. Even if they have internal recruiter, the internal recruiter will work with the third-party executive search company to find the right head, the right leader. So that means those are the hidden job market. Not all job markets are posted in Indeed or LinkedIn and so on, or their website. There are jobs that are hidden, and you have to do network to know about those, or someone has to put your name referral to those, to the hiring manager or to that recruiter for you to get a call. Hmm? So that's why I don't rely much on direct application. Several of my last few jobs, I didn't apply for those. The hiring manager or the recruiter or the company reached out to me for interviews. Um, if you see a job posted in LinkedIn or somewhere that's good, you like it, then you find out who's there in that company from your ex-colleague or your professional network and so on. Reach out to them, send a LinkedIn message that I am a very good fit for this role. Can you please refer me internally? Or can you connect me with the hiring manager or with the recruiter and so on? So use instead your network instead of directly applying for this job. Once they said yes, I'll be happy to refer you for the role, go through them. Then you are guaranteed to get a call from the recruiter or the hiring manager. Otherwise, if you apply, your resume will probably get rejected by ATS. Even if it doesn't get rejected, during the manual 5 to 6 second review by the recruiter, there is a high chance your resume will not be even picked and the recruiter will move to the next. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, definitely. It's a very vast subject, and I can possibly show you exactly how to use it. How do I use it myself with a sample example another day? But for today, if I see interest, I'll be showing you live an example, um, taking a job post from LinkedIn and how I can apply, so that you know what are the tools I'm using, what are the ChatGPT prompts I'm using. If you are interested, please put write down in the comment of this video, and then I'll make another video. And if I don't see enough interest, I'll move to the next topic. That's not a problem. But I'm curious to know how did you find this useful, these tools and tips that I'm providing. Do you have some additional tips, maybe for me or for the audience here, that we can use? I'd be very interested to know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice, and I'll see you in the next session. Have a nice day.